Apartment just got smaller. I lived in this tiny one-bedroom on campus with the worst landlord you could imagine. Ron owned the whole building, 6 units total, and he ignored every single problem. My heat stopped working in January, and I wore 3 hoodies to bed for 5 weeks before he finally sent someone. The kitchen sink leaked for 2 months and rotted the cabinet underneath. I found mice droppings in my closet, and he told me to buy traps myself. Every time I called, Ron sounded super concerned. "Oh man, that's terrible. I'll get right on it." Then nothing. Weeks would pass. I'd call again and he'd act surprised, like we never talked. "Really? You told me about this? My bad. I'll send someone tomorrow." Tomorrow never came. I was a junior in college, working part-time at the campus library. I couldn't afford to break my lease and find a new place mid-semester, so I dealt with it, getting angrier every day. Then in March, I found an apartment 2 blocks away for the same price with a landlord who actually answered his phone. I gave Ron my 30-day notice. 2 days before I was supposed to move out, Ron called me. First time he'd ever called me first. "Hey buddy, quick favor. I'm having a photographer come shoot your place tomorrow around noon so I can list it online. You'll be at class, right? Can I give him access?" I said sure. Then I hung up and stared at my apartment. Something clicked in my brain. That night, I moved every piece of furniture 8 inches toward the center of the room. The couch that sat against the wall, moved it forward. The coffee table, closer to the couch. My desk, that was in the corner, pulled it out. My bed, away from the wall. Even my little bookshelf and the standing lamp. Everything shifted inward, making the walkways super narrow and cramped. The apartment already wasn't big. Now it looked like a packed storage unit. You could barely squeeze between the couch and coffee table. Walking from the kitchen to the bedroom meant turning sideways. It looked completely unlivable. I went to class the next day knowing the photographer was coming. I didn't move anything back. I just left. I moved out that weekend, took all my stuff to the new place and didn't think about it much. Then 3 weeks later, I walked past my old building and saw the "for rent" sign still in the window. I checked the listing online. The photos were hilarious. My old apartment looked like a closet. The comments under the listing said things like, "Why is all the furniture in the middle of the room?" and "Looks way too small for the price." A month passed. The sign was still up. I saw Ron outside one day, looking stressed. He was on his phone arguing with someone about money. I kept walking. Then 6 weeks after I moved out, Ron showed up at my new apartment. I have no idea how he found me, but there he was, red-faced and sweating. "We need to talk." I opened the door halfway. "About what?" "About what you did to the apartment before you left." I played dumb. "I cleaned it and turned in my keys." "The furniture," he said. "You moved everything to the center of the room before the photographer came. It's been listed for 6 weeks and nobody will rent it because it looks tiny." I shrugged. I didn't think furniture placement mattered for photos. "Don't play games with me. I had to reshoot the whole thing and it took 3 days to move everything back because I had to hire movers. Do you know how much that cost me? Probably less than fixing my heat would have cost in January." His face went purple. "That's what this is about? You're mad about maintenance?" "I'm not mad about anything. I moved out." He pointed at me. "You cost me 2 months of rent on that unit. That's $1,500 I lost because of your little stunt." I started closing the door. "Sounds like a you problem." He shoved his foot in the doorway. "If you say anything to the other tenants about this, I swear..." Too late. Kyle from the unit below mine was walking up the stairs with groceries. He heard everything. Ron didn't notice him. "You swear what?" I asked loudly so Kyle could hear better. Ron pulled his foot back and stormed off. Kyle walked past me into his own apartment, grinning. 2 weeks later, I walked past the old building again. 3 for rent signs now. I checked online. Kyle's old unit was listed. So was another one on the 2nd floor. All the photos looked cramped and weird. Furniture pushed toward the center. Narrow walkways. Unlivable spaces.